It's day five of the Pattern Makers 100-Day Challenge. We're going to have an amazing conversation today on procrastination. So get ready, let's go. Hello, YouTubers. This is day 5. 95 more days to go. I am having an amazing time. I hope that you are too. And today our conversation is going to be about procrastination. I am really excited about this topic because there are a lot of people who experience the results or lack thereof of being a procrastinator. And actually, they really think that's who they are, but it's not. So we are going to have a conversation. So get your notepads out, get ready. And if you have any questions and or comments, please leave them in the chat. I am so excited that people are becoming engaged with this channel. You have no idea. So it helps me come up and show up for you to service you with some amazing community service content at the highest level, especially when you begin to engage in the comment section. So if you haven't started yet, we have a few people who are really putting things in the comment section. So it's helping me address specific solutions to a problem that you may be facing. So thank you very much. And so let's just get started. Y'all ready? Let's go. So procrastination, what I did, I looked up the root word for procrastination is pro meaning forward, and crastinus meaning belonging to tomorrow. So pro meaning moving forward, and crastinus means belonging to tomorrow. Procrastination is derived from the verb in the Latin language as procrastinare. Procrastinare, which basically means in the verb form, is to put off until tomorrow. And most often, this is not just a voluntarily delayed response. Most commonly, it is attached to something. So, as we begin this conversation on procrastination, a couple of you have left comments in the comments section as we dealt with the 4 Ds of a pattern maker's success. And so yesterday we talked about the desire, we talked about decision to decide, we talked about the design, and we talked about determination. So one of the comments in the sections from yesterday's video, thank you for watching. And if you haven't watched it, go back to tomorrow. That's day 4. Go back to tomorrow and listen to that conversation. So one of the comments was that for them, procrastination comes into play when all 4 Ds aren't complete within a certain period of time. They have found that the first 3 Ds are there, but the last D, determination, is not always there. And because they didn't feel like what they had desired, decided, and designed, they fell into this trap of procrastination. And the second, so we're going to address that today first and foremost. But also another comment was this person had challenges with procrastination. Their experience was they feel that procrastination their challenge with procrastination is staying focused and consistently aligning their actions with the desired results. So that was their challenge. They're staying focused and consistently aligning their actions with the desired results. So we're going to talk about that. Also, the question becomes, why do we put things off? And if you know why you put things off in the comment section, I am going to bet it's not the real problem. Procrastination is not the real problem that you're dealing with. I am going to bet you think procrastination is the problem, but it's really not. What I submit to you is that procrastination is a symptom of a problem. Actually, it's a baby that was birthed through a problem. Procrastination is a result of another problem. Did y'all know that problems can have babies? Yeah, problems can have babies. They're called pregnant problems. Pregnant problems produces babies, and this can go on for years and years and years. And so oftentimes what we think is a problem is really a result of another problem that birthed the problem that we think is a symptom of the problem. Did y'all get that? Okay, so what I submit to you is that since we're talking about procrastination today, procrastination has everything to do with your perspective. Procrastination has everything to do with your perspective, which is your frame of reference. It's your frame of reference. So if you have a situation going on and your perspective of that situation, it could be a task, it could be anything. It could be an actionable things that you need to do in order to move forward with something. Your perspective of that has everything to do with birthing procrastination. So we need to start there first. Your perspective is your frame of reference. The question then becomes, what are you referencing? What are you referencing? Are you referencing something from a past experience that's making you think not so highly of this particular circumstance or fact that you're looking at through a certain lens? What is it? So oftentimes when we have situations that come into our life, we focus on one or two things. We focus on the positive side of that fact or thing or circumstance, or we focus on the negative side of that fact, thing, or circumstance. It's all about how you frame it. So how are you framing your facts, your circumstances, and your situations? That's a real question. And based on how you frame it, it's going to be what you focus on. And that's a decision. It's a decision. Remember, we talked about deciding as pattern makers yesterday. If it's a decision, that means you're cutting off all other options in regards to how you're seeing this circumstance, fact, or situation. And if you do that, depending on which one you choose, if you focus on, let's say, if you focus on the positive side of it, it's going to tie into something else, which I'm going to call it your belief system. So your focus is going to tie in your belief system based on the frame of reference that you've had in the past, because you can only have a reference to something that has happened before. And in your belief system, there's going to be a couple of sides to your belief system. It's either your belief system is going to be something like affirmative or faith driven, or your belief system is going to be doubt driven or anxiety driven. So when your perspective yields a belief system which is more affirmative, what's going to happen, that belief system is pretty much dynamic. It will flow to a part of you that is going to elicit a particular emotion. So if that belief system that was attached to the focus of your perception is faith or affirmation, then it goes to a place within you, which is your heart, which is going to elicit an emotion. So that emotion then is going to drive whether you move forward quickly or not. If you feel good about the situation, affirmation, anticipation, that means you're excited. It brings on encouragement, it brings on inspiration, and you're ready to get whatever it is done. You don't even think about procrastination because you are all in at that point. On the other hand, when you think about if that frame of reference is tied to a belief system of doubt and distrust, that's going to travel again to a place that's going to give you a particular emotion, and that emotion is going to be more like an attitude of skepticism, an attitude of doubt. I can't do it. I maybe I shouldn't do it. And so guess what happens? That emotion, that anxiety that's attached to that emotion is eliciting doubt. And so what you're going to do, because it is in your mind, is producing an outcome that you don't want to see. It may be producing a perceived judgment by someone outside of you that you don't want to show up for. So those emotions, because they're tied to our actions, an action in a form of doubt is tied to an emotion of anxiety or unease or discomfort. You don't want to move forward because discomfort and anxiety just doesn't feel well. Or if that emotion is tied to anticipation and excitement, you're going to move forward because you can't wait to the next step of whatever it is you're moving into. You can't wait for the next step to be complete so you can move forward and finish whatever the task is. So procrastination is a baby of another problem, which that other problem is your perception. So if your perception is good, it's going to bring about something that is fruitful that you can multiply. If your perception, meaning your frame of reference, is not good and it triggers something as it relates to doubt and discomfort, you're not going to do anything. And so you're going to procrastinate because you want to avoid it and you don't like the anxiety and it's not comfortable for you. But there is one way that you can overcome discomfort. For me, this 100-day challenge wasn't the most comfortable thing that I could have done, but it was something that I needed to do. So I began to think of a way that I can overcome the feeling of unease and discomfort by putting my mindset in such a framework where, what if I start this challenge and I can really share something that's going to help somebody else rise up to another level? That would make me feel so good. So I started to think about that circumstance in a more affirmative way. And this is day 5. This is day 5 with 95 more days to go. So challenges that that's just one challenge that I have experienced with procrastination, and I want you to know it's all in how you frame the situation, the circumstance, and what is your frame of reference, what is your perspective of the situation and or circumstance, what is your point of reference. And to overcome that, because it's a decision that you need to make in order to grow whatever area in your life that you're trying to grow, because it is necessary. People are waiting for you to show up, and some of us are taking way too long. And so getting back to the comments that was put in the section when the person said, what they have experienced with procrastinations is staying focused and consistently aligning actions with desired results. Well, your results is an outcome. It has nothing to do with your actions. Your results is an outcome. Staying focused and consistently aligning with actions. What I say to this is staying focused is a perception issue. So the question then becomes, what are you focusing on? If you're focusing on the positive side of the circumstance and or situation, then more than likely it's going to travel to a certain belief system. It has to be attached to a belief system. And that belief system is going to create an emotion, and that emotion is going to allow you to react based on whether it's an emotion of faith or affirmation or doubt or anxiety. And then the actions aligning with the desired results. So if you're focused on the right things, your actions are tied to your emotions. Your actions are tied to your emotions. They are not tied to your results. The results is just the outcome of your actions, but the actions are tied to your emotions, which takes it all the way back to your perceptions. So when I said the problem is the way you perceive things, the way you look at things, that's the problem. And if the way you look at things elicit doubt, it brings about a baby, and that baby is called procrastination. And the other comment that was put into the comment sections from yesterday's video, they have the 3 Ds in place, which is the desire, the decision, and the design. Where they fall short is on the determination, which is the actionable part, to do it in a respectable period of time. And again, you can see where if they have the desire, have decided, and the design, the actionable part is tied to their belief system based on their perception, which is based on their frame of reference. If it's not happening in a respectable amount of time, that means that the emotion that perception is carrying is birthing procrastination. So I'm going to leave that there today. And tomorrow, we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to pick something from the comments section, and then I'm going to create a conversation from that. And hopefully I'll get some good feedback from this. And if you have something specific that you want to talk about as it relates to your potential, your purpose, and your prosperity, please put that in the comment section. Until then, I'm looking forward to seeing you on this YouTube channel tomorrow. And Dr. Marnita on fire from P3 Purposepreneur. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.